Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. We will start for the day. Shashank sir, is I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take over the class.
Sure, sure. Right. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of our session. Okay. So let us start the session. Let me share my screen. So let us start the session. So if you have any doubts from yesterday as well, you can post it in the chat. I'll just answer your queries and questions. So you can just post it in the chat. So let us go forward. I'm going to start with a very important topic, particularly for faculty. It is very much important because it is based on the how the educators actually or how the current faculty can use artificial intelligence into the real world, right? So it is very much important for our approach, right? The way we start teaching students, or the way we actually guide the students. Now, if I, if to be fair, actually, this generation, it's not like teaching students. It's actually we are guiding them. We are, facilitators rather than teachers, like a mentors. Because information is available everywhere, right? So getting to the right information, or reaching the correct approach, or going through the correct approach is what is very important when it comes to implementing artificial intelligence into the real world. Now here, when we say that guiding the students, or helping the students, or mentoring them, it is very much important that which role are we actually playing. So what kind of role we are actually playing, and how well we are actually playing that particular role, is what is very much important. Now, the most important question, I mentioned here, that as Gen AI becomes part of everyday tools, educators face a key question: how can we use it to enhance teaching while upholding ethics and learning outcomes? So it is very much important for us to uphold the ethics, or follow the ethics. What some of the ethics rules and regulations, all those things, bit of things we'll discuss today in today's and tomorrow's session as well. So how we are maintaining that level, right? And how we are safeguarding the use of AI, right? And how we are protecting that students doesn't misuse the artificial intelligence technology. So that is the key part we are actually going to play as an educator, that in the current day market or industry. So key integration areas is where one of the key things is for the syllabus suggestions, right? Now to be on that industry level, right? Because whenever I go to colleges, right, I see that people saying that we want to bridge the gap between industry and you know, the teaching happening in the colleges, and what is requirement in the industry. We want to bridge that gap. Okay, so how you are actually going to bridge that gap? Is it sufficient if you just conduct a couple of workshops, or you conduct a workshop, or maybe go through some training? No, that is not absolutely sufficient. It is very important that it starts right from the syllabus framing also. So because syllabus has become an integral part of our education system. So because students, many of the students just study for marks, right? Or maybe they come only for attendance. It's not a new thing which is it's going on from years and years altogether. So it is very much important that you incorporate the into the syllabus part itself. That is one thing we can do. And the second most important part is teaching through the case study methods, right? That many of you might be already doing it, or that is part and parcel of the teaching process, teaching learning process. So education, giving through practical approach, right? Case study methods. So trying to implement even more not regularly teaching some textbooks concepts. Not some of the things can be actually self-taught, right? And as what I exactly wanted to try to tell you is, like the concepts are available everywhere now, right? So person can use a chat GPT or a co-pilot, or any kind of tool actually to get the concepts or theoretical content. Then what we are doing exactly? So what we are doing is, or what we should do, I would say, is very much important to, guide them with the relevant path. That is very important. So right from, making them to understand that what is required as per the industry standard, what is required as per, because now skills have become, very much important. For example, what is there currently, 5 years, this tech, there might be a better technology, or better innovations or improvements in artificial intelligence, right? So we don't know how things are changing every day, right? And it is very, very important for us uh, to cope up with the market, right? And to stay into the industry level, or what is required. That is extremely important. So assessing things, upgrading ourselves, skill development, this is very much important, because nowadays we are seeing different trends because of AI. The skill level of a few people is not up to the mark, right? Whether it might be IITs or IIMs, right? Those days are gone where IIT students are very brilliant, IIM students are very brilliant. So these days are actually gone, I would say. So a lot of unemployment is there with even IIT and IIM students also. Why this is happening? It is purely because of the skills, right? So it is very much important whether we are studying higher big colleges, or whether we are studying decent amount of college. It doesn't matter nowadays. The most important part is to incorporate the level of skills what is required in the industry. That is the only part which will take you to that level to achieve things. Because AI is actually taking over a few aspects. So it is very, very important for us, right? Particularly, as faculty, we should be more proactive in this, race of AI. Why? Because we, the students actually depend on us to guide them. So it is very, very important for us to guide them very properly, because before it was different. Now it is the generation of artificial intelligence. So how to co-live? First session itself, I was telling you that. I remember. So how to co-live, or how to coordinate, how to go hand in hand with artificial intelligence and survive in the market, is what is very, very, very important, and it is going to be important in the next few years as well. So using technology and upskilling ourselves and having that level to use the technology and be on that path. That is very important in the current day world. So next is the assessment strategies, where you kind of different kinds of assessment, not like just answer the following. It's not like that. So giving different kinds of case studies, or some different kinds of exams, right? So, or maybe group discussions on a particular concept, or current things in the market, how it is impacting a particular aspect. Try to talk on technology as well, because I see many people, particularly faculty, in many colleges I've seen that most of them don't talk about technology. So technology means they think that it is smartphone, that is smartphone and only laptop. No, that is not technology. Technology is something different, right? They're part of technology. Your smartphone is just a part of technology. So technology in means there is more to it, right? So try and talk about technology, the trends in the markets, how things actually work, right? So people don't talk about when you talk about a laptop, about graphic card, what are these changes, what are happening in the processors, how things are changing upon. So all these things are very much important, because nowadays for AI everything is important. Everything plays a very important role. For example, when you talk about a company called Nvidia, right? So Nvidia is a company in the market, or the player in the market, which actually makes the chips for implementing this artificial intelligence. For example, let us say you're using ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT needs a platform, right? It needs an AI integrated chip, or I can say a processor or a chip or a motherboard, whatever you would say, whatever you feel you can think of. So it needs an AI integrated chip to perform these AI built-in operations. So for that, the chips are manufactured by Nvidia. So we all use ChatGPT, but we don't know that ChatGPT uses the technology of Nvidia that to build these chips, which are useful for making AI processed or AI systems into the real world. And these chips of Nvidia are manufactured by a company called TSMC. So that is also, we should talk about a lot of things where students know that what is technology, what is happening inside things. So TSMC is nothing but a Taiwan semiconductor company it is. So usually these chips which we use in our smartphones or laptops or TVs, where if you wherever you see those chips, right, semiconductors, right? So semiconductors is one of the word for saying about chips. So these semiconductors, the biggest country in the world which manufactures these semiconductors is Taiwan. So Taiwan is one of the I would say the top. No country in the world can break the manufacturing of semiconductors than Taiwan. So the entire country's revenue, more than 70 to 80% country's revenue is actually dependent upon the semiconductor manufacturing. So that much amount of the entire chips, whatever we use, the semiconductors, what we use are manufactured in Taiwan. So these there's a company called TSMC. So TSMC manufactures these Nvidia chips. Nvidia is a US company. So it manufactures these AI based chips which are used by the AI systems. So see the link from where it is linking, because not just using the things, it is also very, very important for us to know a certain aspects where how these things actually work. So next is content generation. You can generate content anywhere now. There is no restriction, there is no limit. You take text from wherever you want. You take from ChatGPT or you take from anywhere, right? So content will be there, right? So content will be there. The only thing is we have to gain knowledge and skill from that. So next is the ethical concerns when it comes to the AI. So next is the plagiarism generated checks, and then the encouraging citation and use of Gen AI as assistant. So it's we have to use as a assistant. So assistant is what I'm actually trying to tell you, which is going hand in hand or co-living with the AI tools. So here, one important thing I wanted to actually tell you is Gen AI is not here to replace the educators. It is here to empower them. With thoughtful use, we can make learning more inclusive, creative, and future ready. So don't think that AI will replace teachers in the future. That's not going to happen. The role of teachers will change. The role of faculty will change. It's not going to be a regular. It's already have started actually. Right? Whatever we are, textbook knowledge, what we are giving the students are not that interested because they can learn on them, on their what new we are giving to the students that they can integrate. That is why we have to integrate our AI into our daily life. So this is one of the very important aspects I just wanted to tell you guys. So integrating ChatGPT in higher education. So what are the opportunities? What are the challenges? What are the barriers? And what are the priorities which are there when you are trying to implement these aspects into the higher education? So let us take about the opportunities. We have a 24/7 support system, and then we have the learning tutorial. Then we have the learning outcomes, right? Instructor based teaching learning process, innovative and research and data analysis, right? When it comes to challenges, academic integrity, quality control, personalized learning, right? Collaboration is very important. So that is where we have to integrate and blend into the technology and guide the students. So next is the barriers is lack of awareness, technological barriers, resistance to change. That is one of the biggest things I see, particularly in colleges. Faculty resisting to change, like they want to go with the traditional methods only. Those days are gone. Those days are actually gone. So things are a bit different now. Approach. Our approach should be completely different. So next is the priorities. You have the policy development, education and training, collaborations, research and development, ethical review process. All those things can come into the picture. So now let us talk about LLM models. Okay. So yesterday also a few people were asking, sir, can you discuss the LLM models? So we just want to know what exactly is this LLM model. So LLM models are nothing but your large language models. So these are very much important, particularly when it comes to text, right? So text generation, for example, like ChatGPT. Best example you can remember is ChatGPT, or you can think of as Google Gemini, right? So these are actually text generated models, right? So whatever are text generated models, those are called as LLMs, large language models. LLMs or large language models, we can say. So for example, these basically are trained on huge books. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. We did not refer multiple books now, right? So your ChatGPT gives the very important information about a particular concept, right? So it will give the formulas, it will give everything it is going to give. So which is actually because it is trained from different websites, it is trained on different books, right? Different articles, different research papers, different coding, aspects, right? So it is trained on so many aspects. It is trained on so many things that it will be able to generate, text content, right? This is what, on the whole, we are using the LLM models. So, I was talking about, I think first I was talking about the concept of transformer, right? So these LLM models are basically relying on the transformer models architecture, or scale, on the concept of transformer. You can remember that way, that will be sufficient. So yeah, this can generate, summarize. So already we know that because we would have used ChatGPT into our day-to-day education, teaching into education. We would have used, right? So we would have used it for summarizing, generating content, right? for preparing PPTs or for teaching the students. So somewhere we would have used it, right? So maybe for translation, summarizing, different kinds of things we would have actually used. So how do these actually work? So this is basically technology which is based upon transformers. So we have already discussed about these transformers and all. So the most important thing of LLM is understanding the context. So I've taken this example before and I've actually told you as well. So the river is on the bank. That means the bank is nothing but it's not a finance, but it is a geography. So it is based upon geography because we are talking about the word river, right? So the bank cannot be it should be river bank but not a financial institution. So that is what the context understanding is basically about, and that capability these LLM models actually have. Okay. So next is these are the popular LLMs what you can see in the current market. The most important LLM model which we know is the ChatGPT, right? So the ChatGPT what we have is the Llama model, right? So that Llama is nothing but Meta's advanced language model for various applications. And then we have the Meta AI, which is a model of OpenAI, ChatGPT. Then we have Google Gemini, right? And then we have something called as Claude. So, and then we have Grok. Then we have Perplexity. Right, so maybe you would have known ChatGPT, or you might be aware of Google's Gemini also, right? So Google Assistant, everybody knows, but Google Gemini is bit more one step, I would say, bit advanced than Google Assistant. It is actually a Google Assistant only, but again, instead of upgrading the name Google Assistant, Google has named it as Google Gemini. Okay, so that small, misunderstanding. I don't know why they have done it, but they could have actually, kept the name Google Assistant only, or they could have removed the Google Assistant name and they could have only kept the name Google Gemini. But unfortunately, both are existing in Google's industry, Google Gemini as well as the Google Assistant as well. So next thing is, what can an LLM model actually do? So by this time, we already have known what it is capable of, right? So it might be a text generation, it might be a summarization, it might be a translation, it might be a reasoning, or it might be a code generation. So for anything, right, we can use these LLM models, whatever can be generated in the form of a text. So even code can be generated, no? So even code also can be. So writing the code, debugging, right? And reasoning also, you can solve the problems, right? So many aspects are there, right? Many aspects are there that we can actually do. So one small example is explain I've just given a prompt where explain, Newton's third law to a 10-year-old. So what happens is, here there is two things in this particular prompt. For example, you ask the same prompt to a ChatGPT, let us say. There are two things for it. Usually when you ask Newton's third law, it will give the the definition, probably what Newton told, right? It's a textbook definition. So when you say we have to explain to a 10-year-old, so it will analyze the context, it will understand the context. Okay, so this is not some 20-year-old or a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old reading, right? It is some 10-year-old. So it will take up an example, or it will take up the definition, right, in a simpler way. For example, it will try to change. For example, if it doesn't want to change the definition, let us say that it doesn't want to change the definition, because definition is definition, right? So it might give the definition what Newton told. Apart from that, it will generate a couple of examples which a 10-year-old after reading can understand in a very easy way. Oh, okay. Yes, okay. So if you push a wall, the wall pushes you back with the same force. Okay, so this is what is Newton's third law. So, in a simple contextual way, or a simple way that a 10-year-old student can understand, it will actually generate. That is what is understanding the context. That is the greatness, or that is the I can say that is the greatest, great achievement what an LLM model actually can guide you upon. So next is the prompting paradigms. So before that, if you have any questions, you can just ask me. So all these are rule based. Not everything is rule based, because see, yesterday we have discussed about the rule based. So rule based are nothing but something following some set of rules and regulations. So I would say this prompting and getting the outcome, prompting and getting the outcome based upon certain context is not rule based. It is AI based. So rule based are actually limited, something where you only give a context. Sorry, you give only a small amount of code, or maybe a huge amount of code also, but only something which it can only assess in that only, and it gives you the output. So yesterday we have discussed some of the examples on this also. But AI based is not like that. Something which can generate on its own, which is not there. It uses the logic, it uses the reasoning part, and something which is which you are asking. So for example, when you see I was like I was giving an example of that. So if I say just Newton's third law, so it will give the definition, but we don't know that what kind of examples it will give that the student will understand. So for example, we can say a particular maybe let us say a management principle or something like that, or maybe a computer science concept, something like that you can take, and you can ask it in the context of BCA students, or maybe it is an MCA students, or an MBA student, or a BSc computer science student, or a BSc statistics student, or BSc some other or BA, so BCom. So in that perspective also you can ask. Maybe you would not have tried this actually, but you can actually try this. So you can also give a particular context. That is why we talk about the concepts of prompt engineering. I'll cover that prompt engineering part also here, that how to optimally actually use the prompts, right? It is very important that how you communicate with the LLM model, and because it's after all it's an agent, right? It's an AI agent, it's an assistant. So it optimally using it to get the required answer what you're looking for is that's why I told using ChatGPT effectively uh, in a way that we want, right? So using ChatGPT in a way we want, effectively is actually, it's actually a talent. Why? Because just giving a prompt is different according to our usage. Giving the prompt and getting the extracting the results is what makes it okay. So if I say, when I say GPT models or ChatGPT, don't think only ChatGPT. So OpenAI is ChatGPT. So so don't think like that. Yeah, I'll come to that question. Yes. So don't think only Open AI is ChatGPT. So you can imagine, like, even Microsoft Copilot is a ChatGPT only. Okay, so don't they have named it that OpenAI's ChatGPT has become such famous that when we say ChatGPT, everybody thinks that OpenAI is ChatGPT. No, it's not like that. Best example is the company Xerox, if you remember. So now we are calling, people started calling it as a photocopy as a Xerox. So that much of fame that particular company has actually bought. Same thing here also happened. So same with that example, what I'm telling is, we don't call it as Xerox. Actually, it is called as a photocopy. So photocopy, to take that photocopy, Xerox is the company which launched an machine to take a photocopy, and that photocopy gradually it is started being called as Xerox. The same thing is happening here also. When I was thinking this today, I was I just wanted to tell this example also. Why? Because when we say Chat GPT, it is not the OpenAI's Chat GPT. Don't think in that way. Okay, you should not even think like when I'm saying I'm not saying that when I say think like this. No, generally also don't think like this, because ChatGPT is a GPT tool where you get the chat, that a GPT model which you can chat and get the outcome is a ChatGPT model. So it might be any companies, even Google's Gemini has the ChatGPT. So yeah, so they could have actually named it something else, this OpenAI people. So they only put as ChatGPT. So we have actually got used to it. So one question actually, I got first. I should have answered that. So, sir, can you please suggest some AI tools for each of these: curriculum design, assessment tools, context generation, lesson plan? Oh, so he wanted to use it for everything. Okay, good. With reference to role of educators in the Gen AI era slide. Okay. You can use any of the GPT models, madam. For example, like the Google Gemini, or you can use Claude is also there. You can, for any images and all, you can use the DALI actually. Because I usually use DALI, and I use the, I'm a huge fan of Microsoft Copilot, because I've been using, Microsoft subscription for a long time. So, when Copilot has been integrated into 365, I was very happy, because it's one of the greatest AI tool, or a GPT tool, which can actually help us in many things. So Google, I don't know why I'm getting Google. Sorry, Microsoft Copilot. You can use Claude. You can use the Google's Gemini also. But I feel Gemini is not that great kind of right now when it comes to OpenAI's ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot. Google's Gemini is not that great LLM model. Google is actually great in some other things, particularly things being searched into the this BERT model. How we search things in Google Assistant. In that aspect, it is very sharp in a deep learning part. Text language to text conversion, translation. Yeah, these things Google is very strong, but not in this. Google Gemini is not the best, I would say. So maybe you can avoid it for a time being. You can try this OpenAI's ChatGPT, and you can use Microsoft Copilot. I would recommend these two. Even Claude is also good, but I have not used Claude much actually. Only for a few things I've used Claude. DALI, you can use it for images. So yeah, these are there. You have many actually, but the problem is so many things actually need subscription, and which actually cost very high. So we keep on talking about AI tools usage and all, but one thing you guys have to remember is no, none of the AI tools come for free. So you have to actually pay, right? So whether it is a reasonable price or it is a bit higher price, uh, so to get the proper use of these AI tools, you actually have to pay. So keep that in mind, I would say, before thinking that which one to use and all. So that aspect is very important. Actually, I just wanted to tell that. But since you have asked Suresh, I guess, yeah, Suresh sir, yes, definitely, good good thing you have asked. This sentence I was actually trying to tell you. So actually, they cost a premium. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So next is, yeah, this question I just wanted to. Is that Copilot economical, sir? It is economical, yes. You have to purchase Microsoft 365, Suresh sir. Yes, you have to purchase Microsoft 365. 365 you have to purchase. I think it's costing around 619 per month. yeah, because I use it, so it is billed per month. You can actually pay year subscription also. So yearly, if you pay, I think it's around some 6,000 something. If you pay 6,200 something, it will come. So if you pay for 10 months, you'll get 2 months free if you pay on a yearly subscription. So even I have to change to yearly. I'm paying monthly actually. So it is very useful, sir. If you say, if you leave 620, aside, sir, 600 we have to pay every month. Keeping that aside, I would say Microsoft 365 is good. Especially now it is more good because you have the Microsoft Copilot. So you can use the Microsoft Copilot. Uh, that is an added benefit. That is an added benefit actually. Because before also it was the same price. Even with Microsoft Copilot integration also, the cost has not gone up. That is one good thing Microsoft has done, because I've been using Microsoft 365 before itself, even before Copilot was integrated into Microsoft 365. So at that time also the price was 619 only, 1.5 year ago, what I'm paying. And even now the price is also same. It is not actually, yeah, it has not actually gone up by God's grace. And the added benefit is, you're getting Copilot integrated into it. So sir, let me, one thing more than the ChatGPT assistant, what Copilot is, I found it very, very good, or very practical when you can do some analysis in Excel. That is very much useful, sir. I have used it, it actually really helped me, particularly for formulas generation, very complex formulas, and getting the charts done, adding it to sheets and all. Because you can use Copilot anywhere if you have the subscription. So you can use it in the cloud, you can use it in Excel, you can use it in your PC as well as an assistant. So anywhere you can use, sir. It is a lot of, it is very much useful. So yeah, actually I would say it is economical compared to other other, because I think ChatGPT costs around, plus itself costs around some 2,000 rupees, 2,300, 2,200 something. It's around some $23 with GST and all. So just plus. Pro is again, very costly. So yeah, and I've seen many AI models, or sorry, AI tools also, because I'll be always, searching what are the new tools what are coming. So I've been searching many tools, sir. I've seen so many tools, at least some $10, $15, $20, $25, $30 also I've seen, $40, I've actually seen a few things, just for $10, per month, just to do, basic things and all. So, it's a bit expensive if you have to buy so many. That is why currently, right now, if you personally ask me, I am actually depending upon OpenAI's ChatGPT, and I am depending upon Microsoft Copilot, sir. Apart from this, it's very hard for us also. We cannot take hundreds of AI tool subscriptions. That is not possible. So, it will cost a fortune for us. That is the, I know many faculty also have that thing in mind. Because sir, how these many we can purchase? It's not possible, madam. Even I am only using only two. I'm using Microsoft 365 and OpenAI's ChatGPT Plus. So these two itself cost me around some 2,700, 2,800 per month. So yeah, it is it is difficult for a few to take, money wise and all. It is difficult for a few to take these many subscriptions as well. So yeah, you can keep whatever it is important for that particular month. Maybe if you're doing some research, because usually, since you guys are faculties, it is very important for you, particularly when you're focusing on research oriented aspects, you want to do some analysis. So in that aspect, these things are bit useful. Maybe in that particular month or so, you can actually take them, purchase them. So yeah, that can be, because what I'm using, those are bit economical, I would say, compared to the others. Others are, they are the other tools are bit expensive actually. So that is one thing. And one more question. So does it kill creativity of the child? That is based upon how we are, how we are looking at it. Uh, Shwara now. Okay. So it is, how we are looking at it, that is very important. If we are looking that, it is guiding my child, fine. Or, my son stops thinking. Uh, no, that is not exactly true. I will not accept that because uh, AI is not to destroy us. That is one thing. Please keep it in mind. I don't know. A lot of faculty have this perception because whenever I go on and take lectures on this AI, faculty ask these questions. So AI will take over our jobs. AI will uh, you know, it is like it is not making us to think why you are thinking so. Actually, we are learning more than never before. I don't know why you're not looking in that aspect. I feel after artificial intelligence has taken over, I feel that I am learning so much than never before. I've never learned this much. I would say in the last 2 years, how much I've learned. I've never learned this much in my graduation and post graduation also. That 5 years of graduation and post graduation, 5 years, I cannot compare those 5 years to the last 2 years. The learning is double what I have kind of right now. So look it in a positive sense that you are building knowledge. So that is what, see, there are always two sides of the coin. So how you look at it. So are you looking these AI tools to build, or you're thinking that these will take over us? It is not allowing us to think, we are not using creativity. Are you thinking in that way? Or let us say, let us enhance ourselves, um, you know with the tools what we have in the market, along with that using it, and are we enhancing ourselves? So because artificial intelligence is you know there in the market to make our life easier and to enhance the experience. So please, you can think it in that perspective. Maybe I don't know. I cannot change everybody's perception and thinking, but I would say that why not just think in this perspective? Uh, you know, why not? You know, look at that point of view and enhance. You can say you can enhance your skill, as well as you can enhance the students, and the learning, teaching learning experience also can be enhanced. So in that perspective we can actually look at it. So I would suggest in that perspective. I hope at least uh, I've helped you to, maybe think on that. That is what I feel. Okay, so next, I think the questions, that's it only. If you have, please put it in the chat. I'll just answer them. So generative AI models like ChatGPT just work, just don't work on commands. They respond to how you prompt them. So this is what I was actually trying to tell you. The most important thing is it is like a chat assistant. So how you ask, right? How you relate the context, how you actually give. It is not a command, as that sentence actually mentions. So it is very important that how you prompt it. That is why we call it as prompt engineering. So why we are calling it as prompt engineering is the way we express what we require, and how the things work out in that particular context. So if we give a proper prompting, the way the LLM model works and actually gives us the result will be in a different way. So that is why it is very important to use these generative models, because these ChatGPTs, OpenAI's ChatGPT, or Microsoft Copilot, Google's Gemini, all these things are basically generative models. So generative models means it is generating new content based upon what already it has been trained. So it is very much important that you make the LLM model think. You push it and you make it to think and answer the question. So that is what that much creatively we have to actually, so where you are not using creativity, you are using your creativity, to extract, correct? No, so that is what you can use this prompt engineering for. So here when we say, the prompting way, there are three different kinds of promptings actually. So one is the zero shot, few shot, and chain of thought, which is called as COT. So now let us see this in detail. So the first one is the zero shot. So zero shot, as the name itself has, it is basically, just giving a basic thing. For example, like, just pasting the summary and telling that summarize this article. That means the prompting or the task is very simple, correct? No, so something which is very much easy and straightforward. For example, like explain this concept, right? So for example, let us say I'm asking that explain what is prompt paradigms, right? And just explain what is zero shot. So giving like that direct question directly and just simple and clear is what zero shot prompting basically is. So next is few shot prompting. Now here the way we give the prompt actually changes a bit. For example, here you can see the cat chased the mouse. Output will be you're asking convert active to passive voice. So the cat chased the mouse. The mouse was chased by the cat. Now convert, she wrote a letter. Okay, the letter has been written by her. So now these models are having some I would say some thinking in it, some pattern in it, right? It is not like just explain or simply give. So it is not like a straightforward shot. It has a few things which has to be done. Something has to be applied onto them. A particular function, let us say. So something has to be applied onto them. So that is basically called as a few shot prompting. Now, next thing is chain of thought prompting. So COT is something where you would say you give data analysis. You ask the you give the data and certain questions and ask it to solve it step by step, right? Or give the analysis how to do it. So that is called as chain of thought prompting. That means the model has to think. Like for example, you're giving a math problem or you're giving a something, a logical reasoning. Let it be, for example, here I mentioned a problem, right? A probability problem. So you are asking it to solve, right? The same thing with data analysis also. It is solving, it is doing analysis, right? So something which gives the machine some thought, a thought process, is basically a chain of thought prompting. So now let us go forward into what is prompt engineering. Okay, so let us understand that what is prompt engineering. So now here, what exactly we are actually giving is at down we are actually prompting, right? So it is generating. So how it is generating? It is taking from the database, and in that database it has information from the libraries, from the books what is stored, right? And inside it has a module or it has a model which works to give output of what you are actually prompting. So these are the 12 important prompt engineering techniques what we have. So least to most, self-ask, meta, prompt, chain of thought, react, symbolic, reasoning, PAL, iterative prompting, sequential prompting, self-consistency, automatic reasoning and tool use, generated knowledge. So these are some of the very important prompting techniques which are actually there. So next is the key concepts in this prompt engineering. We have the prompt, context, tokens, fine tuning, and the priming. So these are the 5 important steps where the prompt actually happens. Okay, so you can just have a look. right? So let us go to the next slide. Right, now let us try and understand that what are the best practices when we talk about prompt engineering. So why the prompt engineering actually matters. So now LLMs like the ChatGPTs are powerful, but how well they perform depend on how you talk to them. That's what I was just telling you. That is what the talking to that particular LLM model or the ChatGPT is what is called as the prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is about crafting your instructions in a way the model understands clearly and delivers what you want consistently and efficiently. That is what why we use a prompt engineering. So use clear unambiguous language. So avoid vague prompts like write something about marketing. No, right? You should not tell it to do on its own. So write a 3-line paragraph or a 3-paragraph blog post introducing digital marketing to college students. So if you give in a clear, concise manner, it will understand, okay, so it will, because each word it will understand the context, right? So it is extremely important that how you actually write. So next is specify role, task, context, and output format. So frame prompts like instructions to colleagues. Example, act as a resume expert. Your task is to review a resume and give feedback on clarity. So now then tone and structure. So if you give like this, it will give in a clear, concise manner. Okay. So use delimiters for clarity. So if you have something like comma, full stop, right? So please give it so that because it works on natural language processing. So don't just give simply something, okay, it will understand. No, that isn't where this concept of prompt engineering comes into the picture. So next is refine iteratively. So if the output isn't right, rephrase or add constraints. Like first try write a lesson plan, then refine. Write a 1-hour lesson plan for 10th grade on photosynthesis, including the objective activities and a short quiz. Okay, just like that, it has to be clear. So next is prompt template. Here you can see act as a role. Your task is input. You'll get the output. For example, act as a career counselor. Your task is to write a professional summary for a data analyst resume. Input 3 years of experience, skilled in Python, SQL, Tableau. Output 3-sentence summary. So if you give like that, what will happen is it will prepare a professional summary for a data analyst with 3 years of experience. It will use so and so skills, right? And it will give you a summary in 3 lines because you have asked a 3-line summary. So that is why prompt engineering plays a very important role. Okay. So let us see a few prompts, and after that we'll go for a small break. Okay. So first prompt is basic prompt, where for example, if you say explain photosynthesis, right? So it will give a textbook generic explanation, right? So because it has trained on textbooks, no data, right? So it has also trained on the textbook aspect. So it will give a textbook definition, maybe one or two examples in some particular textbook. Now let us change the prompt. Explain photo. See here, explain photosynthesis. Explain photosynthesis to a 10-year-old. And now, since you say a 10-year-old, the output will be in a simpler way, right? Now, let us say explain photosynthesis to a 10-year-old using bullet points and a metaphor. Now, what will happen? You're asking in a bullet point, so it will be more structured way, right? And it will use some metaphors. Metaphors like plants are like solar panels. So it will given examples where the student can link it to the real life. So next is it is more digestible, easy to visualize. Now we are adding even more depth to it. So now explain photosynthesis to a 10-year-old using bullet points, a metaphor, and 3 examples from everyday life. So this is even more detailed. So this much of detail, if we want, yes, then only it will be able to link each and it will actually try to understand the context and try to give you the perfect output. Okay, so we'll just go for a short break, and after the break we'll start this multi-agent system. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. If you have any questions, please post it in the group. Okay. Let me continue. Okay. So let us continue. Let us see that what is a multi-agent system, right? And how it is, playing a very important role in the AI industry. So there are 5 important concepts when it comes to multi-agent system. The 5 important things are: what is an agent first? We already know that, right? And then what is a multi-agent system? And what is coordination? What is collaboration? And what is communication? So these are the 5 important aspects when it comes to the multi-agent systems. So agent, we already know that something which is capable of communicating with the others and acting based upon the environment what it has, right? And multi-agent system is communicating with the multiple agents and taking the decisions and making the actions accordingly. So next thing is the coordination. So agents working together to avoid conflicts and achieve common goals. So going hand in hand and trying to collaborate with each other, coordinate. And then we have the collaboration part also. So sharing the knowledge, right, all the goals, and understanding the complex tasks and doing it together. Next is communication. So communicating with each other, that is what is communication basically is about. So let us see the single agent versus the multi-agent systems. So single agent is one decision maker and isolated problem solving, and then the linear execution and the fixed environment. But the multiple agents is not like that. Agents, it can communicate with multiple agents available, and the decision making is also distributed among the different agents, and then it's a dynamic collaboration. Then it is a parallel execution. So next thing is how this multi-agent system will actually function. So it has a knowledge base, a physical environment. From there, each agent will communicate with the knowledge base, right? Each agent has the communication with the if we are actually dealing with a multiple agent, so one is having the communicate with the knowledge base, and one is updating the knowledge base. So it is, the tasks are actually shared among themselves. Not everybody will do the same task. For example, it is like, I can think of like a group, right? For example, a group project, right? Not everyone will do the same task, right? A particular project, a group of 4 or 5 are doing, let us say some 5 students are doing a project, right? So you divide the work among them yourselves, right? So, one person will write the code, one person will write the, will do the analysis part, one person will collect the data. So like that, you divide the project among 5 people, because there are 5 people involved in the project. So the same thing goes with the okay. So that the each person has their own task allocated to them. So based on that, each person will do the task, right? So whatever is allocated for them, that particular task they will do. So now we'll see each one in detail. So the first one is, what is an agent? So agent is basically a software entity in this case, because he is an AI agent, right? Not a real life human being, right? So it's an AI agent. So it is a software, right? Now here he communicates with the sensors, he receives the data, he acts upon it. He takes the decisions based upon certain activities. For example, if you see the smart thermostat, right? So like the Nest. So here you can see that the temperature will automatically change based on the requirement. So cooling and heating will be adjusted accordingly. So next is the multi-agent system. So in the multi-agent system, that the agents will interact with each other. So they cooperate with each other, they compete with each other, and they are actually centralized or distributed. So real life examples is the autonomous drones for agriculture. So one drone monitors the crop health, one sprays the pesticide, and the other maps the terrains, and the others coordinate with the task without human intervention to optimize the field. So each here we have 4 agents, right? Sorry, there are 3 agents. So here these 3 are actually doing right without the human intervention. They are communicating with each other and they're saying that I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So they have distributed the task among themselves and they are doing. So those are called as multi-agent systems. So next is coordination. So coordination is the mechanism that enables agents to manage dependencies and avoid conflicts in their actions. So ensuring efficient collective behavior. So smartly, they divide work among themselves. They don't fight with each other, right? So real life example you can take is traffic light agents in a smart city. So each traffic light is actually an agent. So they coordinate based on traffic flow data. So each traffic light will coordinate with each other based upon the traffic. So if there is no traffic, right, and they will give the green light or examples, or it will coordinate with the other agent and it will think that okay, no, there it is bit of heavy side. So let us say here, let us put as red signal to avoid that much of collision of traffic. So they communicate with each other and basically they try to reduce that congestion, right? So next sentence is green lights are synchronized across junctions to reduce congestion. Yeah, just now I was telling you that. So based upon the requirement, it will turn to green or it will be in red color. So if one junction is overloaded, neighboring agents adjust their timing. So that is what exactly we are trying to build traffic signals based on or we want to make our city smart city, because in this way what will happen is the traffic will actually go in a smoother way. So next is collaboration. So collaboration involves agents working together towards a common objective, often by sharing knowledge, dividing tasks, and jointly reasoning. So for this example, you can think of is the robotic warehouse system like the Amazon robotics. So robots collaboratively retrieve and transport the items. One robot locates the item, another fits in, and the third delivers it. So if one robot fails, another steps in the complete the task, ensuring fulfilling of efficiency. So they will collaborate with each other. They will not fight. They will not have a clash. They distribute among themselves. So next is communication. So communication is in multi-agent system involves the exchange of communication between the agents to coordinate and collaborate. So this is basically done by the standard protocols. So we have ACL, Agent Communication Language, which defines how agent expresses request, informs actions or negotiate. So here next, after that we have FIPA. So FIPA is Foundation of Intelligent Physical Agents, a set of standards for agent communication, interaction protocols, and platforms. So now let us see one very good example, which is the disaster response system. Okay, so for disaster response system, AI plays a very important role in the current generation, right? Now, this disaster management or disaster response systems, we can use rescue bots, supply drones, and command center agent communications. So why we are actually why we want to use AI in disaster management is to save human lives. For example, without compromising on the human lives, we can use drone technology or we can use the bots. We can use the bots to basically do the required purpose or do the required whatever is needed to do in that disaster purpose. So it is very much important for us that we use this AI technology into these kinds of aspects. So you can see here that we are preparing different drones. We are sending drones, or sending food, different kinds of things during the disaster management. So next is let us see what is the types of interactions. So, but before that, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll just wait for a minute. Okay, fine. So no questions, I guess. Fine. So next is the types of interactions. So let us say we have three types. One is the cooperative agents, competitive agents, and the mixed motive agents. So these are three types of interactions. So the first one is cooperative agent works towards a shared goal or a shared objective. So competitive is compete for limited resources, example like bidding. Mixed motive agents are blending cooperation and competition, which is like a game theory based. So let us see the types of interactions in detail. The first one is cooperative agents. So agents that work together to achieve a common goal is basically a cooperative agent. So then we have the behavior, which is shared knowledge, dividing the task and synchronizing the effects. So next is the real life example, let us say. So self-driving, you can just, if you have any doubt, please, you can just put it in the chat. So next thing is self-driving delivery vehicles, which is a fleet. So multiple vehicles work together to deliver packages efficiently across a city. So they share real-time traffic and route data to avoid overlaps and delays. One vehicle might take over a delivery if another breaks down. So that is what self-driving vehicles actually can help you. So so if you are going on a certain route, it will communicate whatever is available in that particular route, and in that it will make sure that the the delays doesn't happen. So there are a lot of benefits of using a self-driven vehicles. So next is competitive agents. So agents that compete for limited resources or outcomes. So behavior is each agent maximizes its own utility, no information sharing. So no information sharing. So competitive agents basically, they have limited resources. They compete with each other. So whichever can maximize the utility without information sharing. So if we talk about real life examples in this case, which is online ad bidding. So here multiple advertising agencies like the Google Ads, Facebook, etc. bid to show their ad. Only one wins the auction to display the ad to the user. So agents are optimized to bid smartly for cost effective and placement. Next is mixed motive agents. So agents operate in environments where both cooperation and competition are required. So using strategies from game theory to balance the interest. So real life examples indicate that bots may collaborate in sharing market sentiments like the news signals. So but ultimately compete to buy low and sell high. Okay, so agents may even form temporary alliances like the flash mobs to influence the market trends. So this is about the stock market. So next, let us go to the next important concept, which is the architectures. So there are three kinds of architectures. One is the centralized, distributed, and the hybrid architecture. So the first one is one agent controls the other, easier to manage but less scalable, which is called as a centralized. Next is distributed, no central control, highly scalable and fault tolerant. So hybrid is mixed of centralized and decentralized control. So next, the first important one is centralized architecture. So a centralized agent or a controller governs the action of all other agents, easier to manage, simple. It's a simple architecture, but it is, here as I mentioned, it is less scalable, right? The centralized architecture is less scalable. So causes single point of failure, scalability issues, because it is centralized architecture. If something fails in the central part, everything collapses. So it is very much important that the central person who is controlling the entire architecture doesn't fail. So for example, traffic control systems. One control unit manages all signal agents at intersections. So this is not good actually. Signals adjust based on data from the central server. So if the central server fails, the entire system collapses. That is what I just told you. So it is very important that, for a few things, centralized architecture is not good actually. So here you can see one particular one particular architecture which I've actually wanted to show you. So this is AWS Cloud. AWS is nothing but Amazon Web Services. Okay, so the cloud access will the cloud architecture actually looks like this. For example, at the top you can see the user query. So from there the reaction of the chain actually starts. Okay, so from there it goes one step and the other and it moves. Okay, this is a bit complicated, but I just wanted to show you on a bigger picture how how a particular architecture will be actually there. For example, a real life example architecture you can take. So that is why I have mentioned this, because this is AWS cloud architecture when it comes to multi agent systems. Okay, so this is a traffic management center. So at one place the entire traffic management is actually controlled. Okay, so this is how it actually identifies. Okay, so next is the important part, the important where this is basically based upon controlling through the central part. Okay, yeah. So one person sitting and or a server which is actually controlling the entire part. A couple of people are raising their hands. Probably you can just put the question in the chat. Man, you can put your question in the chat. I'll answer from there. Okay. No, you're raising your hand, but you're not asking anything in chat. uh, I don't know, by chance you're pressing it, or you just want to ask something, but you're not texting. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so next is the distributed architecture. So distributed architecture is distributed among multiple points. So it doesn't have a single point of control. So the positives or pros are highly scalable, and it is very difficult to it is very easy to failure also. So it is complex coordination and communication logic is one big problem, but they things can work on their own, and it is very much easy. If something fails, it can uh, get things done from other places. So that is one bit, one important key factor when it comes to a distributed architecture. So here you can see the example peer-to-peer file sharing, for example, like a BitTorrent. So each node is an agent and downloading and uploading data. So no central server, coordination is based on protocols. System continues to work even if many nodes go offline. So it is, the servers are connected to multiple places. Okay, so it is basically a peer-to-peer sharing actually. So if you would have used BitTorrent or uTorrent in you might be knowing it is not stored in a central repository or something like that. It is basically a peer-to-peer file sharing thing. So next is the hybrid architecture. So next is the hybrid architecture. So combine centralized and distributed elements. That is the definition part. Then balanced control and flexibility, still partially vulnerable to central points of failure. Example is the smart grid management. A regional control center coordinates distributed energy producing agents, solar homes and wind farms. So each power source can act independently, but aligns with grid level strategies for efficiency and safety. So this is how smart homes are actually powered. So a smart grid, you can see an example how it is actually powering the entire city. Okay, so this is one very good picture which shows that how how this is powering how the smart grids are powering. Right. So this is one more example. You can see how an IoT smart grid is giving entire power. Right. So let us see some of the applications. So here you can see some of the very important use cases like the smart grids. Then you have autonomous vehicles, healthcare systems, e-commerce and auctions, and then the disaster response. So these are the five important aspects. Let us see these in detail. Okay. So the first one is the smart grids. So smart grids are load balancing and fault detection. So here you can see that who are the agents when it comes to the smart grids, sensors, smart meters, and the control systems. These three are the agents in the smart grids. And then the goal is to balance the power supply and demand in real time. So example is when a region's power demand spikes, agents reroute the power from other sources automatically to avoid blackout. So next thing is autonomous vehicles. So here each vehicle, traffic lights and road sensors are the agents. Okay, so each vehicle is an agent because it's an AI powered vehicle, and then traffic lights, which are the IoT sensors, and even the road sensors as well. So next goal is safe and efficient travel without human intervention. Example is vehicle to vehicle communication allows cars to form platoons, optimize fuel usage, and prevent collisions. So next is the healthcare systems. So here doctor bots, patient monitoring agents and diagnostic tools are the agents in this. Goal is provide coordinated patient care. Example is a wearable health agent alerts and AI diagnostics in agent which schedules test via a hospital scheduling agent, all without human intervention. So all these happen without the human intervention. So next is e-commerce and auctions. So agents, buyer bots, seller bots, negotiation engines. These are the agents. Goal is automated prices negotiation and order placement. So example is where the Amazon dynamically adjusts the product prices based on the competitor bot's behavior and market demand. So this one you can see that prices vary accordingly to the market, and you can see some based on the competitions what are done, the deals and all. When Flipkart put deals, or Amazon also wants to put deals at the same time and give at a better prices. So this is a competition based something which actually happens. Next is disaster response. So agents, drones, rescue bots. Drones, rescue bots, and communication systems are the agents in this case. And goal is to locate the survivors, assess the damage, and deliver the aid to that. Examples are the drones, drone map debris, ground bots, where the people are trapped, and all agent coordinates to avoid duplicating effort or entering the dangerous zones. Now, let us see, what is ethical considerations in the AI agents. So if you have any doubts, you can please post it in the group, in the chat. A few people are raising your hands. Instead, you can just post it in the chat. I can answer your question. Okay, I'm not getting anything. Okay, fine. We'll continue. Okay. So let us continue with the ethical considerations in the AI agents. So here let us see some of the key issues, right? Which is autonomy versus control. Who is responsible for autonomous agent decisions? Bias and fairness, ensuring agents don't propagate or amplify societal biases. Transparency, can users understand how and why agents act, right? Accountability, mechanisms to trace and audit agents' decisions. And then informed consent, especially when agents interact with humans, example in healthcare and education. So these are the key issues. Let us discuss these in detail. So here, when you see that the five important or the five key challenges, what can occur when using the generative AI? So you can see the bias mitigation and fairness, which we have just discussed. Then there is a data privacy and security, thing. And then we have the transparency and the scalability, or you can say explainability. And then we have the human oversight, preventing over reliance on AI outputs while ensuring human judgment in critical decisions is challenging. And then we have the change management. So these are the five important challenges which are responsible for usage of generative AI. Now, here you can see the ethical implications of deploying AI agents. So you can see a robot with a tab. There you can see a message, right? It's a very interesting image, right? Right. So these are responsible principles what we have to follow. Okay. So the first thing is we have to eliminate the bias. So we have to create an anti-bias. Then our data should be transparent and explainable. Then it is privacy and data protection, accountability, then human-centric design, robustness and safety, right? Collaboration and multi-stakeholder engagement, and then we have societal impact. So I think we got a question. Uh, yes, they should have actually, but yeah. See one thing, they will take a decision based upon certain logics and because what the question is about, like, should AI agents have accountability for their decisions? So in my opinion, I would say that they will take responsibility because they will actually only give the decisions, or they will take decisions based upon some proof, or I can say based upon the reasoning part or the logic part. So there is nothing like what they're trying to do is wrong. So it is perfectly based upon the evidence, right? What it has been actually given to them. So it will take a call on that only. I hope I have answered your question. Uh, right. So when we talk about the AI ethics, we have certain things which we are talking about: security, responsibility, safety, and biasness and transparency. Right. Now, we will see each one of them in detail with an example. Okay. So the first one is autonomy versus control. Right. The issue is when AI agents make decisions autonomously, who is responsible for their outcomes? Right. Just now, you were asking that question, right? One of you were asking that question. So the developer, the deployer, or the AI itself. So the challenge is striking a balance between agent autonomy and human oversight. So one of the examples is that autonomous car accident, Uber self-driving car fatality in 2018. The AI made the driving decision that led to a pedestrian's death. Confusion arose over whether the responsibility lay with the vehicle's AI, backup human driver, or the company that built the system. So this is the tricky part, right? So next thing is the bias and fairness. So here you can see the issue: AI agents can perpetuate or even worsen existing societal biases due to biased training or flawed algorithms. So challenge is detecting, measuring, and mitigating the bias in the AI decision-making process. So the real life challenge is AI loan approval systems. AI agents trained on biased historical data may deny loans proportionately to minorities or women. A US study found that the black applicants were 80% more likely to be denied mortgages by the algorithmic lenders. So there is no unbiasedness or fairness, right? So it is very important that the algorithms are built on fairness and unbiasedness. So next is transparency. So can users understand, now that let us see the issue, can users understand how an AI agent makes its decisions, often referred to as black box problem. So how an AI agent makes its decisions. So for that, the challenge is building explainable AI systems that often offer clear reasoning. That's what I was just actually telling you. Because see, it takes a decision, right? AI is not a human. It doesn't have any emotions. They take a decision based upon the logic and reasoning. That's it only. So it is very important that it shows the clear logic and reasoning. It will take decision on that only. So in its way, it is crystal clear. So the example is healthcare diagnostic agents. An AI system recommends surgery for a patient, but doctors and patients don't understand why. Lack of transparency can lead to mistrust or refusal of treatment. So next is accountability. So the issue is, how do we ensure that AI systems are traceable? So something I think it's just there. Okay. So here the challenge is, yeah. So let us go back again once. Accountability. So how do we ensure that AI systems are traceable, so actions can be audited and errors are corrected? So creating audit trails and accountability mechanisms, we can do that. So not only AI, even human being makes mistakes. No, it's not like only AI does mistake, right? No. So real life challenges: chatbot making offensive offensive comments. So example, Microsoft Tay. Tay was a Twitter-based chatbot that started tweeting hate speech within 24 hours due to online manipulation. So there was no clear accountability or system in place to monitor or moderate the agent's learning and responses. So next is informed consent. So issue is when AI agents interact with humans, especially in sensitive domains like health or education. Do users know what data is being collected, how it's being used, and whether they're interacting with an AI? So the challenge is ensuring consent is informed, voluntary, and revocable. So next is the real life examples. So surveillance bots in schools. So deployed to monitor student behavior, students and parents were often unaware that the data was being recorded, raising major privacy and consent, concerns. So now let us see some of the frameworks. In very important frameworks when it comes to the robotics or robots laws. So the first one is one of my favorite, uh, Asimov's laws of robotics. Okay, so let us see the most important or most used three frameworks. One is Asimov's laws of robotics and IEEE ethically aligned design. Then we see that EU AI Act, right? And then we'll see the real world scenarios. So AI agents denying loan based on biased data, surveillance bots infringing on private without explicit consent, educational bots influencing students' opinion unintentionally. So now let us see the three laws of Asimov's. There are three laws, right? The first one is that a robot may not harm a human being. A robot must obey human orders unless it conflicts with the first law. A robot must protect itself as long as it doesn't conflict with the above. So limitation is these are not practical or enforceable, but good for initiating ethical discussions. So here you can see, in detail. Okay, just wanted to share this also for detail. So a robot must not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given by the human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. So, this is again, I've just mentioned this also. This is already there actually. I'll remove this slide, not required. Okay, so let us go to the next one. IEEE ethical aligned design. So a real world initiative by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IEEE, focuses areas on human rights, well-being and accountability. So bias mitigation, transparency and traceability. So ethical impacts assessments in development cycles. So they are basically used in tech companies designing ethical AI systems in fields like the smart cities, medical tech and robotics. So next is the EU AI Act. So legally binding framework proposed by the European Union. So categorizes the AI systems based on the risk. So unacceptable risk, which is banned, high risk, strictly regulated, minimal risk, which is transparency obligations. So basically, these are used in the compliance models for companies deploying AI in Europe. So setting global precedent for AI regulation. Okay. So if you have any questions, can please ask. A few people were raising hand. So we'll see these three examples and we'll stop. In the meanwhile, if you have any, these three are the only remaining three real life scenarios. So yeah, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me. We'll finish this and we can stop by 5. So please, yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, so in the meanwhile, you can ask the questions. If I get any important ones, I'll just answer them. So next, let us see these remaining 3 real world scenarios. So AI agents denying loans based on biased data. So the problem is credit scoring agents trained on historical data may use proxies for race, gender, or zip code. This is one major big problem. What can happen when biasness actually creeps into the data set, right? So consequences, fair lending laws may be violated, discrimination goes unrecognized without proper auditing. So this should not happen, right? So fixes use fairness aware machine learning algorithms and audit AI pipelines for disparate impact. So next is the surveillance bots infringing on on privacy without consent. So the problem is autonomous drones or robots in malls or public spaces monitor behavior without individual consent. So consequences are violates private privacy rights, risk of facial recognition misuse. Then fixes designed for a privacy by default provide opt-out mechanisms and display clear notices of AI presence. So this is extremely important when it comes to the surveillance bots. So next is the educational bots influencing student opinions. So problem is AI tutoring systems might subtly favor certain ideologies or sources. So consequences bias learning, student manipulation, or even misinformation. So fixes incorporating content neutrality, transparency logs, and educator control in the AI tutoring agents. So these are some of the fixes that can be applied. So that brings to the end of our session. So maybe if you have any doubts, we can. There's 4 minutes left. You can just okay, fine. Anyway, tomorrow one more simple chatbot apart from rule-based I'm doing. So I'll show it tomorrow. Yeah, because have tomorrow's session also has one one simple bot generation also. So I'll just show you one more working agent. Yeah. So still 3 more minutes. Please, you can just ask questions if you have. By 5 o'clock, we can wind it up. Ma'am is sharing attendance also. You can please fill the attendance if you have not done. Along with that, feedback also, you can give the feedback for today's session. Uh, LMS, I'm not sure. I think you can ask, ma'am, Shushmita ma'am, faculty are asking about the LMS. Can you just,
Sure, sure, sir. I will let them.
yeah, because they're asking me.
Yeah, sure. Even I got the message. I will reply for that.
Sure. Okay. Mm, I think that's it only. We can wind it up, ma'am. I think no more questions, I guess. Only LMS, only one suggestion for this booking agents. Yeah. Apart from that, that's it only.
Yeah, sure, sir. We can wind up. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yeah, so dear faculty members, we will wind up the session for the day. We'll meet again by 3 p.m. by tomorrow. I hope you all are marking your attendance. If you are missed out to mark an attendance, please mark it. I'm just sharing it in the chat once again. And for the Suresh, sure, you have asked that for the LMS. Actually, unfortunately, we could not conduct LMS KT. No issues. However, you're all joining the session in the Zoom only, right? You can join the session and please make sure that you will marking attendance all the 5 days. So as 60% of attendance is mandatory. Once if you're secured 60 or above 60% of attendance, for sure you will get the certificates. Okay. Shriram Geeta. I'm sorry we are not able to share any kind of the previous day attendance link. As you already know, days like the attendance link will be active from 4:30 to 5:30. So yesterday's attendance has been already closed. So we are not able to share.